Want to know what dermatologists actually do to stay looking younger? If so, this is the video for you. Hi, friend. I'm Dr. Ray. I'm a board certified dermatologist. I have 15 years of experience treating aging faces. I'm a 45-year-old woman myself. I have online programs for anti aging and skincare. I live, eat, and breathe anti aging. And if you have ever seen a dermatologist online and wondered what the heck they're doing for their skin, why they look so amazing, why they perpetually look 10 years younger than they are and have that glass skin effect without a filter, then this is what I'm going to divulge to you today. I'm going to give you 5 super impactful anti-aging hacks that dermatologists are doing that you don't know about. Let's get right into it. First, dermatologists are reducing their intake of sugary or high glycemic index foods. Now, it might be a little bit of a no-brainer that we want to reduce sugar for our overall health, but did you know that reducing sugar also helps your skin look and stay younger and be more healthy? The reason for that is that when your blood glucose or your blood sugar is high, that excess sugar is brought into your skin and it interacts with the proteins in your skin. And one of the proteins that it interacts with is collagen. And through a series of reactions, what it does is it basically stiffens up that collagen and makes it less effective and less functional. And what does that do? It leads to accelerated signs of aging, like sagging, like wrinkles. And excess sugar can also be pro-inflammatory. It increases the low level chronic inflammation in our body, including our skin. And inflammation also breaks down collagen and elastin, and it messes with our skin barrier. It makes our skin barrier a little bit more reactive, a little bit less able to do its job, less able to keep the good things in, like hydration, moisture, nutrition, and keep the bad things out, like pathogens, microbes, viruses, toxins, that kind of thing. Okay, so excess sugar in our bloodstream is not something we want on a regular basis. Now, is it just sugar that's the problem? No, it is also high glycemic index foods. What does that mean? So, high glycemic index foods are foods that when you eat them, they lead to a higher spike in your blood glucose. And I encourage you to just Google what high glycemic index foods are and what is on the list. But I can tell you that there are things like white bread, white rice, white pasta, cereals, honey, even some fruits like watermelon and pineapple. Yeah, those kinds of foods spike your blood sugar quickly. And because of that, that excess glucose, that excess sugar in your blood basically spills out, is taken up by your skin cells, and is able to have the effect on the collagen that we don't want. Okay, so high glycemic index foods also spike your blood sugar. So dermatologists that are conscious of this, that are wanting to age well, we know that we need to reduce our intake of sugar, especially like chronic intake, meaning if we are having sugary or high glycemic index foods 5 times a day, that is keeping our blood glucose consistently elevated. And that is not allowing our skin to recover, because that reaction where it stiffens up your collagen actually is reversible if your blood sugar is allowed to go down for a period of time. But over time, it becomes irreversible. So if you're having consistently sugary or high glycemic starchy foods regularly, you are more likely to be aging your skin more quickly. And one hack that I think is really helpful to reduce that blood sugar spike, even if you are choosing to have a sugary food or a high glycemic index food, is to pair that food with healthy fats. Think olive oil, avocado oil, nuts and nut butters, those kinds of things, seeds, and pairing it with fats, and then also protein and fiber. And how does that help? So the reason is that those other nutrients, the fat, the protein, the fiber, they slow down digestion. And so they don't allow that glucose to be brought into your bloodstream quickly. It slows down the digestion of those starches as well and those sugars. And so you get more of a slow kind of increase in your blood glucose levels and a more steady level rather than a quick spike. Okay, so pairing those foods together is really helpful in keeping your blood sugar stabilized. Some examples, for example, are if you're going to have like a cookie or a biscuit with your tea in the afternoon, have that also with a handful of nuts, okay? Or if you're going to have oatmeal in the morning, go for, first of all, it's better to eat like rolled oats or steel cut oats over instant oats, because instant oats are more processed, and then the more processing there is of a starch, the more those starches are broken down and they're more easily and quickly digestible. And what does that do? It raises your blood glucose level more quickly. So first of all, if you are going to have instant oats, then I would pair that with a scoop of peanut butter or almond butter or other nut butter or some seeds in there so that you're pairing it with those fats and proteins rather than just having like a quick dose of starch. Okay, so those are just a couple of examples of some smart tweaks that you can make to your food intake to help your collagen stay healthy, stay resilient, stay strong, and to help keep your skin barrier stay calm and happy. And that is going to help slow down the aging process for you, which means that it is going to lead to less accelerated wrinkles and sagging and all the things that we just don't love to see in the mirror. The second thing that dermatologists are doing are they're making reapplication of sunscreen really easy for themselves, okay? This is one of the biggest anti-aging hacks that I think is being underutilized severely is reapplying sunscreen. I cannot tell you how important that it is and what a small fraction of people actually do that, okay? But dermatologists are doing it, okay? Every 2 hours. And why every 2 hours? Regardless of SPF, you need to reapply your sunscreen every 2 hours because they are only effective really for that 2 hours because over time, not only do they get like sweated off and rubbed off, we touch our face, we wash our hands, etc. Not only is it coming off physically, but the active ingredients in the sunscreen are being broken down over time by UV radiation. And so we do need to reapply after 2 hours. It's kind of like you didn't even put it on, okay? So if you are going to be inside, do not worry about it. I'm only talking about if you're going to be outside for more than 2 hours, or if you are going to go back inside, but then go out again after 2 hours after applying your sunscreen. Please reapply and make it easy for yourself. So what does this mean? For example, use a powder sunscreen. If you are someone who wears makeup and you don't want to put lotion sunscreen over makeup, I 100% understand that. Get a powder sunscreen, put it in your purse, put it in your bag, put it in your car, wherever it is that's convenient for you. Keep it on hand so there's really no excuse to not reapply, okay? I will link some good products that I love in the description for this video below. So powder sunscreen is amazing. It is a game changer. It is wonderful for reapplication. I might not use it for your first application because it's a little bit hard to know how much you're getting on, but reapplication, it is acceptable, okay? Or you could use a stick sunscreen also if you find that better, especially for areas like the back of your hands or your neck or your chest or your forearms that are exposed throughout the day, especially like in the car when you're driving and you want to reapply sunscreen in those areas. A stick is really convenient to just have on the go with you. And again, you can keep it in your bag, your purse. You can keep it in your car. Caveat here, if you are in a hot environment or it's middle of summer or something, I would not leave a stick sunscreen or a lotion sunscreen in your car long term because it's going to melt and it's just not going to be as effective. But yeah, sticks and powders are amazing. Keep them with you, take them on the go, and you are going to be reapplying and you're going to do so much better for your skin. You cannot imagine how much better your skin will age when you are sticking to this rule. And this is what dermatologists do. Okay, the third hack that a lot of people have not heard of that every dermatologist knows is taking a supplement called Polypodium leucotomos. It is a fern-derived antioxidant, and it comes in either a capsule or a gummy form typically, or can even get it in drinks. I'll link some options below again in the description that I love. But this product, why do we love it? It is because it has been tested and proven to reverse and prevent UV damage to the skin in the form of DNA damage that leads to things like hyperpigmentation, dark spots, sunspots, and skin cancer. And also it helps prevent the collagen breakdown that comes about from UV radiation as well. So for those reasons, we love it so much. Is it the same as using a sunscreen? Should you just skip sunscreen and use this only? Absolutely not. It is a supplement to your sunscreen. It is an adjunct to your sunscreen, and it is something that is going to help give you added benefit, not only in skin cancer prevention, not only in hyperpigmentation prevention, but also in slowing down signs of aging like wrinkles and sagging. And we also love that it is easy to do. You just take a gummy or you have a capsule, something like that. I would do it during days when you were out for a prolonged period of time, like think 3-4 hours or longer. And in those days, it becomes really essential. If you're having a day where you're just like driving to work and you're in the car for 30 minutes and you're inside all day and then you're driving home in the afternoon, I probably wouldn't bother on those days. But any day where you're out for a prolonged period, like at the park or a baseball game or a theme park or hiking, outdoor shopping, whatever it is, it is really helpful to do on those days. And I'm telling you, dermatologists love, love, love this product. Okay, the fourth anti-aging hack that dermatologists know and love is not discounting the power of prevention when it comes to professional in-office treatments. So are we waiting until we see that severe sagging, those deep wrinkles, all the sunspots before we take action and do something about it? No, we are being proactively preventative by working in small, conservative, proactive treatments sprinkled throughout the years to help keep our skin, to maintain, to keep it looking healthy and youthful and vibrant. And does this mean that you start Botox at 21? No, not definitely not. What I would say though is sometime in your 30s, definitely your 40s, you do want to start thinking about sprinkling in these treatments. What does that look like? When we think about that question, we have to think about how our skin actually ages. What happens to our aging face? What happens are things like dark spots pop up, fine lines show up, wrinkles show up from collagen and elastin loss, and also muscle movement like facial expression. We get volume loss in our face that, coupled with that collagen and elastin loss, leads to sagging. So when we're addressing these different inevitables in our life and we want to kind of get in front of them, then here are some treatments that you might work in. First of all, if you are someone who is prone to dark spots, sunspots, this is typically going to be someone who is a fairer skin type and also has a lot of sun exposure, either prior sun or current sun exposure. That person might want to do a preventative resurfacing of their skin with a laser every 1 or 2 years, okay? And that is going to not only help prevent those dark spots from coming, but those types of lasers do a little bit of collagen production too, so they can help a bit with putting off some of those fine lines. And also, very importantly, we love this, they have been proven to reduce the risk of skin cancer. There was a recent study out of Harvard Medical School that showed that one treatment with a resurfacing laser, superficial resurfacing laser, reduced the risk of skin cancer by 50%. So that is pretty significant. And this is actually something we've known for a long time, that it is actually FDA approved. The Fraxel laser is FDA approved to treat precancerous lesions, actinic keratoses, but it is good to have this additional evidence. So yeah, a resurfacing laser not only helps with cosmetic prevention, but also with reducing skin cancer risk. So we love that. Or if you're someone who doesn't have a lot of problems with like pigmentation, sunspots, or don't anticipate that, you don't get a lot of sun necessarily, not a fairer skin type, but you do want to do a little bit of collagen stimulation, then you might do something like microneedling, maybe a couple times a year, plus or minus PRP with that, where it kind of, we use your own growth factors to boost the effects of the microneedling. And that's going to stimulate some collagen so that over time it is putting off, it is slowing down those fine lines and wrinkles, okay? And it helps with the skin texture as well. And then when we're thinking about volume loss, we might think about doing some conservative filler, maybe even a biostimulator like Sculptra. And when I say conservative, I mean conservative, okay? So I do not mean going every 6 months for a couple syringes of filler. That is not conservative. What I mean is maybe doing one syringe every year, year and a half, something like that, just to maintain the volume, because we know that volume is going down, especially in our late 30s, our 40s, and by our 50s for sure. Okay, so that volume needs to be restored. It is not coming back. It is not going to be restored with a microneedling or a laser. Okay, so this requires injectables, whether it's the filler or biostimulator, or yeah, you can even do fat grafting as well. Although I think fat grafting is better reserved for when we're actually trying to reverse volume loss that's moderate to severe, rather than trying to just do prevention, okay? But yeah, doing some conservative sprinkled in treatments is so beneficial in putting off the sagging, which I think is one of the things that bothers people the most about their skin. Sagging, jawline laxity, deep folds around the mouth. Those are things that we can really help prevent, and even hollows under the eyes with some very conservative filler earlier on than before it's gotten really bad. And then yes, also sprinkling in some neuromodulators like the Botox or the Dysport, maybe once a year, maybe twice a year. That is really helpful in preventing those dynamic wrinkles from turning into static wrinkles. Dynamic wrinkles are wrinkles that happen when you move your face. When you raise your foreheads up, you get the horizontal lines. Eventually, those turn into static wrinkles. Those lines are there even when you're not moving your face. That is a static wrinkle, okay? The reason those happen is because of that facial muscle movement, and also from collagen and elastin loss over time. So when you are addressing that muscle movement with these neuromodulators very conservatively, low doses, infrequently, you are going to prevent those from ever settling in. It is why I am 45 years old and I have not even a hint of a wrinkle on my forehead, is because of Botox and Dysport. Okay, and yes, I do things like laser and microneedling to support that, but the main thing that's helping with that is the neuromodulators. Last but certainly not least, number 5 is that dermatologists follow the science when it comes to skincare and anti-aging. We don't look to the trends, we don't look to the hype. The best dermatologists are following the science. They're looking at the published data on everything, whether it's a skincare product or an ingredient or a professional treatment or even the holistic health habits. We don't just willy-nilly throw out things that sound nice and are very trendy to say. But if I tell you that improving your sleep helps with your skin, it's because I've read the studies that show that improving your sleep helps with your skin. Okay, so we focus on the science and the data because why? Because science is truth. And it is what is going to tell you is going to be the most likely thing to help you. Okay. Can we look at anecdotal evidence and, somebody saying online that this thing helped them and then 10 other people chime in that it helped them too? Yeah, we can do that. But if you want to be the most likely to not throw your money away, to not throw your time away, to not wreck your skin, then you are going to look at the science to know what is best and what's most likely to give you what you want for your skin. Okay. It's all about getting out what you expect from what you put in. And that's what science tells us. Okay. So again, the best dermatologists look to the science. They don't jump on the bandwagon before that bandwagon has studies behind it to back it up. So we focus our skincare treatments, our professional treatments, all of the above on what has been proven to help. Okay, so those are 5 anti-aging hacks that derms do themselves that keep them looking younger and healthier and smoother and more lifted throughout the years and perpetually looking 10 years younger than we are. There's a reason for it. Okay, now I want to know from you, what are your anti-aging hacks? What have you found that has been helpful? I really love hearing from you guys, so drop them in the comments. If you're not already subscribing, please do, and we will talk again next week.